All right. Anyway, so Steve, Spencer's not here, so I thought I'd bring you up and we'd get to know you. And
that sounds good.
Sorry, I'm getting text.
Steve, what's the name some of the what's the most satisfying element of being a Harmon assistant?
Oh, so Aaron's actually also. I thought it was obvious that I value Spencer a lot. So as Aaron's like warning me that it sounds like I don't think Spencer does anything.
I would say to balance things out a little bit, say something nice about Spencer. I mean,
the guy who couldn't bother to be here. He's amazing.
That's not fair.
The thing is,
and the next time he's here, I'm gonna crush him. And I'll tell you one more thing, Gene.
Spencer, if you're out there, and I hope you are, the show is called Harmontown, but no matter, like, when Greg Proops came on, or Ryan Stiles, or somebody made a dig on Spencer, fucking sacred territory.
Oh,
baby.
Man, no way. Yeah, we don't fuck with Spencer. Why do you think I hate him? No. I'm kidding. He's my son. What do you want me to say? He's my son. What do you want me to say?
Tell him you love him. Tell your son you love him.
I don't know what love is. I have hired him to help me find out.
You're being
He does a very good job. You're
being the great Dantini right now. You're being a harsh father.
It's being instincted. I feel. Why is it?
What do you like about him? Name a couple things that you like about him, and then that are valuable to you.
The same thing as them. His beard, and he's funny. It's a flannel shirt, and it's like May.
Do you consider him a friend, a pal, a confidant?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I only have like 3 friends. Yeah. If you and Dino like stop hanging out with me, I'd be like, hey, Dana Gould? And he'd be like, hey, Dan, what's going on? I'd be like, yeah, remember 1995 when we said we'd hang out? So yes, Spencer's my friend. But I guess I undersold that.
I'm not gonna pressure you because you're having a difficult time expressing.
Isn't that the highest compliment?
Affection. No, it's not. The highest compliment is an actual high compliment. He's my. I see myself in him, and I respect him, and even that's not a good enough compliment because those are good compliments.
He's not like a mini me or anything like that. Like he's like I just like I like him, and I feel very comfortable with him. That's the thing. When he comes and picks me up, like I've talked about that before. Like I don't have like he and I are on the same wavelength or lack of it. So like other people, like there's always that inevitable point where it's like I'm fine with the fact that I haven't said that you're doing a good job for the last 4 weeks, but are you? And I warned you about that when I interviewed you.
It's
I
true.
think that drives a lot of people screaming out of the building.
Yeah. But Spencer's one of the most charming, genuine, moral people I think I've ever met, and that's just part of the allure.
Yeah. Well, like for example, so
here.
So this might really embarrass Marissa. I hope it doesn't. But when she was visiting, she was here for all this while. She was doing her post-productive thing.
Who's Marissa?
Marissa she's the first person to ever do a blog about us. She's the number one absolute,
of course, yeah,
beyond community fan. She was like a Dan Harmon fan before that was a thing, and and is a delightful young lady, and really smart and cool and balanced, and she came to our wedding, and she's like a friend. She's not like she's more than a fan. She's like a friend, and she was in LA getting her degree in post-production, and I brought her over to Community, and we were hanging out, we were doing this stuff, and we're all like, let's go out and get a drink and all this stuff, and Marissa's like, I gotta pack up my shit, I got my truck full of shit and all this stuff, blah blah blah. And she Marissa's coming to meet us at this restaurant to have a drink, and she was
moving that day. All of her stuff was packed in her car.
She gets in this not terrible, but it was a scary
she gets
accident, in a car accident. It was and she's freaking out because she's young, and anyone freaks out when they get in a car accident, but you're first one and you're out of town and your shit's in the back seat, and she was really freaking out, and Spencer and Steve ran over there, and Steve, I didn't fucking go. It was like, she was like a block from the restaurant, and it was like, Steve Spencer?
They're like your angels to your Charlie.
Tell her I'll cover the insurance bill or whatever. Like I'll like throw money at shit, but I'm not like I don't have a heart. I'm a horrible, heartless villain. And
it's not true.
And these guys ran over. I thank you. You get a bonus for this saying that. But anyways, just talking about like Spencer's, like Spencer puts his money where his mouth is in terms of a personality, because like Steve's account of it was like, not only did Spencer go over there and help out, but actually like at every accident scene, there's like a very little flaw in our justice system where it's like two people collide, no one knows who fault it is, like two civil servants show up.
And it's traumatic.
Yeah, two people are traumatized, like, and two guys with badges and guns show up, and they basically are judge, jury. Like, it basically ends with them. Like, they have to get out of the car and like make their decision. Spencer was so like, they were so taken with Spencer that
he was so warm and like.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we
all have our qualities like they're kind of our lead qualities. And also, I think that we're all good people, but I don't know very many people. Thank you. I don't know very many people that the lead quality that I would say about them is. I know some, but Spencer's one of the few people I know that the first quality I say, he's good. Spencer is a good person, and not that we're not good people, but he leads with good, and you said it, Steve, that he's a moral person. I think that he has an intense moral compass, which I think is very valuable.
He wants to do the right thing, and he thinks about that a lot. He doesn't want to do the popular thing. He doesn't want to even do the thing. I think I fall short of that, where I'm like, what do most people think is the right thing? I want to do that. Yeah. If they're looking.
Spencer doesn't hesitate. Spencer knows what's the right thing to do.
Spencer is like he doesn't give to panhandlers, but does jump out of his car to give to the people that are going through recycling bins, getting shit, even though they might tell him to go fuck himself because they didn't ask for anything, but he's giving them money because he's like puzzling through in his head, like, how do you actually use your pocket change to like help society? Actually, that sounds kind of draconian and like Ayn Randish, but I mean, he thinks about morality. He thinks about being a good person, and he also he I could picture him like I would fucking like. That's why I didn't go over there. I'm like, there's gonna be hysterical people getting out of cars, pointing at each other and shrieking, "This is your fault. No, it's your fault." And there's gonna be two douchebag cops who like don't know what to do, but they're gonna file their little report, and all this shit's gonna be handled by insurance companies. And I don't want anything to do with this shit. Just tell me who to write the check out to, and I don't fucking care. Spencer went over there with his little cargo shorts and his flannel shirt. Is probably the reason why the cops were basically like, yeah, it's probably the other lady's fault because she was screaming bloody murder, and Marissa was like traumatized and freaking out, having this lady like shrieking at her, well, not at her, but like about her to the cops, and like, but Spencer was just like, you were there.
Yeah. First thing I saw was, Marissa was noticeably upset, and her car was totaled, like it was destroyed. And Spencer, like the first thing he did, he walked over and he gave her this big hug, and he was like, "It's gonna be okay. Like whatever happens, like you're healthy, and it's a vehicle to it's aluminum. I don't know, what is it?
Aluminium.
Steel.
Aluminium.
Yeah. He's like, everything's gonna be okay, and she just had all these things going through her head, like, how am I gonna pay for all this? I gotta get a new car, like, it's all these.
That's the answer. I'm gonna pay for it. That's my morality.
And Spencer's like, well, one thing at a time, like let's get through this whole process with the police. And I know this woman's like an insane person right now, and she won't even talk to you. She wouldn't even look at Marissa's face. Like Marissa would say, like, I'm sorry, trying to like talk to this woman so they can like come to some kind of an agreement, but she wouldn't even talk to her. It was really terrible. But Spencer was there through the whole thing, and the cops showed up, and
if I ever got in a car accident, I would want somebody who's good at logic and maps to go, well, there's no way the car could have gone there because the cars only moved at this rate per second.
But Spencer was like that. So he examined, before the cops even got there, he examined the damage of Marissa's car and the woman's car.
Of course he did.
And he was like, okay, Marissa, like take me through it. Like, what happened? And so she was like, this guy, I was in the leftmost lane, and the guy, we were at a red light, and the guy waved me on because I had my blinker on to get into the next lane, and so this guy was stopped, and Marissa went into the next lane. He held up traffic for her to move on, and her car, I guess, like she looked, and she set another blinker to move into the rightmost lane. And this car just whizzed up and just nailed her. And so Spencer looked at the damage and he goes, "She was definitely speeding or texting." Like,
Spencer CSI.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing. She was like, I shouldn't have cut across 2 lanes, but Spencer's like, but for the amount of damage that happened here, she was doing something illicit. Like, there's something wrong. And then the cops came, and Marissa was totally honest with them. I cut across 2 lanes or whatever it was, and they're like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. But at the same time, they were like, ma'am, were you looking at your phone? Were you texting? No, I wasn't texting. She's from Miami. It was legal there until last year. You could look at your phone or text on your phone. It's a crazy place. Don't go to Miami.